Welcome learners. In the last session, I was able to achieve the screen design for display task screen. In this session, I intend to do the same with add task screen. So tune in wherein we are going to get started with a good user principle and a good design principle. In this session, what I intend to do is giving the finishing touches to my add task screen. Now, if I run my app, that is from the very beginning, and I click on the floating action button, you see this kind of a add task screen. Well, first and foremost, I'll be switching the app bar to my custom app bar. Now when I do a hot reload, I get to see this back arrow, but it's black in color. That's because over here I did not define the icon theme, and I can set the color as white. Well, that's making it white. Now if you see, it sticks to the topmost edge. Over here, let me copy this size box with a height of 20 and put it above the text field so that we get this a decent amount of spacing between the title bar and this task description. And the last button, what I'll try and do is expand it so that it reaches from this corner to this corner. So I'll put a size box, but this time using media query. For example, I can use different size of devices. For example, a tablet has a much longer width than a usual phone. In that case, what I'm going to do is use this media query dot width, and in the child I'll paste my entire custom button, and you'll notice this size of the button increases. Next, what I'm going to try and do is have my callback for display priority grid widget. Let's see, over here I will have a function priority value on priority selected, and I'll mark this as required. Now do you remember wherein we had done the set state? So over here what I'll do is call this on priority selected along with this priority dot current priority dot priority. If you are confused, look over here. We had configured 4 different priorities, but what I only need is this digits 1 2 3 4. Hence what I'm trying to do over here, I created a function and I'm just accepting one integer value. Hence now over here, int priority selected, it will show me according to whatever the user has been selecting that priority to show up. Now, when I do a hot reload and then tap on this 3, you'll see that the user priority 3 is selected, and when I click on 4, it shows priority 4 has been selected. So now if I click on this over here, you'll see that the task description is highlighted, but the pick time did not get highlighted. Well, that's because when it comes to the display time text field, this had to have this controller as a constructor parameter. For example, let me remove this equal to symbol and have this display time controller as required. Next, what I'll try and do, create a new controller over here, time controller. So basically there is task controller which will be getting the data from the task screen. Secondly, there would be time controller that will be helping us pick the time. So let's say now, since I have added it as a constructor variable, over here I'll pass this controller. Well, what is the benefit? The benefit is now if I do a hot restart, my mistake, if I do a hot reload and if I try to do add task, it gives the error validation here, and when it comes to this time text field, I can set up the validator string input, then the same validation. If input is not equal to null and input is not empty, then return null. Else I can show an error message, enter valid, or in fact pick valid time. Now let's try doing a hot reload. This time again I'll do add task, and do you see this red color thing which shows pick valid time? Well, again on the screen share it's not been there, but I can clearly see on my screen which is on my phone. In this case, what I'll try and do is, like disabled border, I'll set up the error border, and in fact now I'll change it to a red color error border, which basically gives me this red color outline and it shouts at the user to pick the time. Well, all these customizations help in improving the user experience. So with this, I have come to the entire completion of the To-Do app on design basis. The entire module has finally come to a standstill. That's because we have achieved the entire UI design as I showed you on the first video. Well, things have been very much beautiful along with the bottom sheet. Wait, did we create the bottom sheet? No. But did we see it? Yes. In the Figma design, we saw the bottom sheet to be implemented. But I did not incorporate in this project. That's because it's going to be overwhelming and things might get very tedious at this point in time. But it's a promise. I'm going to cover in module number 8, wherein we're going to have an entire e-commerce app to be designed from scratch. Wait, did I say module 8? Then what is on module 7? Well, the entire app is now hard-coded. The display task screen, the tasks are hard-coded. I'm going to create an entire module 7 in which we are going to use NoSQL and create an entire offline app with the same user experience. So stay tuned and keep learning with Hoping Minds.